Number 5, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, lung disease. Okay? Chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, COPD. Let me stop for a minute. I always tell people, work through it. Anything that's a challenge to you, you just work through it until you get it. And so even though I get tongue-tied, I just keep on doing it and keep saying that word. And I don't care where I'm at doing it. I'm going to keep on because I will not let it defeat me, because you get better. You're always better. So anything that's a challenge, you work through it. So I'm going to say the word again. Chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, see, is a term physicians use to refer to lung disease, chronic bronchitis, and emphysema. This disease frequently exists together, and both are conditions that cause blockage of airflow that interferes with normal breathing. Okay, so that's bronchitis and emphysema. Those two usually work together in COPD. Statistics, 60,714 men died of COPD. But we don't know what that number is today according to underlying conditions because of COVID. We don't know what it is, but this is pre-COVID, okay? Because those numbers, we don't have them yet. We just don't have them. It's impossible. The pandemic is going on now. So between 80% and 90% of COPD deaths are caused by smoking. Men who smoke are nearly 12 times as likely to smoke from COPD as men who have never smoked. Isn't that something? The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services states this. The symptoms are chronic bronchitis, chronic cough, increased mucus, frequent clearing of the throat, and shortness of breath. Those are some of the signs. Emphysema. And so those signs, if you're suffering from any of those, then what you need to do is you need to get to the doctor right away. Just get there. One thing that you do want to do in the prevention side is you want to take preventative steps by not smoking and avoiding secondhand smoke. Minimize exposure to workplace chemicals. According to a study in the American Journal of Epidemiology, occupational exposure to certain industrial pollutants also may increase the chance of developing COPD. You know, a lot of times, I just want to drive this point home. A lot of times people would be smoking and doing, or drinking, and I'd say, no, I don't want any. Or they say, you want to have a drink? And I say, no, I don't really drink. It's not because I'm an alcoholic. It's just that I don't have a preference for drinking. Or they'll say, you want to have a cigarette? Do you smoke? No, I don't smoke. And then the next thing they know, they say, oh, okay, well, she thinks she's better than us. No, I don't think that. You think that. You're the one that thinks that. It has nothing to do with me thinking that I'm better than you. I just want to live. I just want to keep myself from establishing any habits that are not going to help me. Okay, because I want to live. And so there's a difference. I just choose to live, and anything that, like, just if somebody asks me if I want to go to the casino, 9 times out of 10, I'm not going to go. I don't want to go because it could lead to a habit. So anything that I know that could become a demon for me, then I'm going to avoid it like the plague. So that's just one of the ways that I handle prevention. It's just one of the ways. And so it's nothing on anybody or about anybody. It's just about staying away from things that are going to hurt me in the long run. Number 6, diabetes. According to the Illinois Department of Public Health, diabetes can refer either to deficiency of insulin or to the body's decreased ability to use insulin. Insulin is a hormone secreted by the pancreas that allows glucose, sugar, to enter cells and be converted into energy. The body's ability to synthesize proteins and to store fat also depends on normal levels of insulin. If diabetes is left untreated, glucose and fats remain in the bloodstream and over time damage the body's vital organs and contribute to heart disease. There are 2 main types of diabetes, non-insulin dependent type 2 and also insulin dependent type 1. Non-insulin dependent diabetes, which usually appears after the age of 40, is the most common type, affecting 90% to 95% of those who have the disease. Insulin-dependent diabetes, or type 1 diabetes, affects the remaining portion of those with the disease. Although this type of diabetes can occur at any age, it most often appears in children or during the teen years. Over a third of people with diabetes do not know they have the disease. This is why diabetes is sometimes referred to as a silent killer, because a lot of times people, it's too late by the time they go to the doctor for them to be okay. And then next thing you know, they are literally on a machine, okay? They literally have to go on a machine, okay? And so that's why we say prevention is everything. You need to go to the doctor. According to statistics, and 10.9 million or 11% of all men aged 20 years or older in the United States had diabetes, according to the United States Department of Health and Human Services. Adults with diabetes have heart disease rates about 2 to 4 times higher than adults without diabetes. U.S. Department of Health and Human Services states this as well. Heart disease and stroke account for about 65% of death in people with diabetes. The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services states diabetes is the leading cause of blindness among adults 20 to 70 years of age. U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. And this touches home because for us to know, my husband and myself, to have a friend that was very active in the community, had a business in the community, and just really, really didn't stay up with the health, his health. He didn't. And he had diabetes, and he knew he had diabetes, and he was drinking with the diabetes. He knew all of these things, but guess what? He didn't do what he needed to do for his health in terms of keeping his diabetes treated, going to the doctor. He ends up becoming blind. He's blind to this very day, and it's so sad because it could have been prevented. So these are the reasons why we say prevention is everything. Taking care of your body. The body you're in today is going to be the body you're in tomorrow. So whatever you do to your body today, it may affect you tomorrow if you don't take care of yourself. Diabetes is the leading cause of kidney failure, accounting for 44% of new cases in 2002. And that's what I'm talking about, people going on a machine, ending up on dialysis. And they don't have to. 44,400 people with diabetes began treatment for end-stage kidney disease in the United States and Puerto Rico. The risk for stroke is 2 to 4 times higher among people with diabetes, according to the United States Department of Health and Human Services, where it doesn't have to be. According to the American Diabetes Association, diabetes often goes undiagnosed because many of the symptoms seem harmless. Recent studies indicate early detection of diabetes symptoms and treatments can decrease the chance of developing complications of diabetes. Those symptoms include frequent urination, excessive thirst, extreme hunger, unusual weight loss, and increased fatigue. If you're tired all the time, if you're irritable, irritability, blurred vision, if your vision is blurry, then those are symptoms that you might have diabetes. You got to go and get it treated. You have to go and get a screening done to make sure you're okay. Your risk for type 2 diabetes and heart disease depends on the factors that can be managed and modified risk factors, and other than things that are genetic, non-modifiable risk factors. If it's genetic, then it's non-modifiable. Okay? And understanding managing your risk factors can help you avoid diabetes and heart disease and live a longer, better life. Modified risk factors: overweight and obesity, high blood glucose, high blood pressure, unhealthy cholesterol levels, physical inactivity, smoking, non-modifiable risk factors, age, race, gender, family history. Those are your non-modifiable risk factors. You can't modify your age, you can't modify your race, you can't modify your gender, and you can't modify your family history. But you can modify obesity and being overweight. You can modify high blood glucose based on what you eat. You can work with modifying high blood pressure if your doctor says we need to have you on this blood pressure medication, and this is you have to change your eating habits. Unhealthy cholesterol levels, eating habits, changing your eating habits. And if you need to be on medication for high cholesterol, you need to see your doctor. That's the only way you're going to know. Physical inactivity. Is it something preventing you from physical inactivity where you can't do it? You need help. you need to get help if that's what you need. If you just don't have the willpower, then you need to be able to find out what you need to be able to do, who you need to get in bed with. Do you need a personal coach? Do you need to go to the gym? Do you need to be around others? Right now it's not possible, but people are now, they're exercising in home on machines, but then there's a community based around that community and it's virtual. Smoking, and you choose to smoke. It's up to you if you smoke. You don't have to smoke. If you're saying, okay, I smoke because I'm stressed out. Okay, well, what's stressing you out? If you're saying, okay, that's the root of the problem is what's stressing you out. It's not the fact that you have to smoke. You haven't sat down and said, this is what's bothering me. Okay, so what's contributing to you being stressed out? That's the root of the problem. And how do you fix it? That's the thing. How do you fix that? So let's go to the next one. Influenza, which is flu, and pneumonia. According to the CDC, influenza is a contagious respiratory illness caused by flu viruses. The flu, hello, pandemic. The flu, and so hello. And so what do? Hand washing. Let's talk about it. Flu is something totally different now. Okay, let's talk about it. Now we're having to do different things. We're having to wear masks. Okay, COVID-19, let's put that in there too. Having to wear masks. There's other things. Okay, it's spreading through droplets, coughs, sneezes. Okay, and so these are the things that we need to just stay in tune with what we need to do in prevention. Hand washing. If you're not in a place where you can wash your hand sanitizer. Okay, 73% or 72% ethanol, alcohol. You need to be able to have that type of hand sanitizer. Wearing your face mask. Okay, not being in large crowds of people. Stay in. If it causes you to be safe right now, stay in. It's not going to kill you. If you have to go to work, you have to do other things, but don't go to a party. Don't go to a gathering. Don't go to the bar. Not right now. It's not the right time. Just because we're saying don't go, it just means right now. Help is on the way. You just need to know that. Help is on the way. Every single day, they're finding out all the different pharmaceutical companies, they are releasing their vaccines. So help is on the way. And for everything. And by all means, take your flu shot. You need to make sure you go to the doctor and get your flu shot. There's many Americans that die from flu. Many that die from flu all over the world. So if you have access to a flu shot, get your flu shot. Okay? And it comes because we all know viruses come on very suddenly. Flu comes on very suddenly. Fever, headache, extreme tired, dry cough, sore throat, runny or stuffy nose, muscle aches, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, all those different things. Okay, now we add chest pain, fever, chills, cough, shortness of breath. Get to the doctor. Get to the hospital. If it's persistent, don't wait. Quarantine. Do what you have to do. Okay? Get vaccinated. For pneumonia. Get vaccinated. Get your flu shot. Wash your hands. And so because why? Your hands they're almost a constant contact with germs that cause pneumonia, flus, viruses. Did you know that they said that one thing that they identified that was two of the biggest spreads of the coronavirus was shopping carts, and the second one was pumps at the gas station. Okay, because those are things that people do all day, every day. So what are you going to do? Wear some gloves. What are you going to do? Keep your hand sanitizer with you. What are you going to do? Rub even if they say the cart has been rubbed down and they've got a tissue and they've got sanitizer, then take it right there and keep your gloves on. Take it and just wipe the handle down of the cart. Just prevention is everything. Everything we do now is centered around prevention, to keeping the world safe, to keeping us safe. For us staying and being safe. It's not just about you staying safe. It's about you helping other people to stay safe. It's not just about us. It's about everybody. It's not just about you. This is about everybody. So that's something for us to take into consideration. And taking care of yourself. Proper rest. Diets rich in fruit and vegetables and whole grains, along with exercise to help you keep your immune system strong. Okay? And to help you also protect other people